Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Any additions to the agenda? Seeing none. Comments from visitors regarding agenda items? I don't see any visitors or hear any comments. Chairperson's report. Please report that the budget passed last week, so we're on our way for our next year's budget to work with that. And also like to mention that the East Granby Middle School, High School Marching Band were phenomenal yesterday, performing at the East Granby Memorial Day Parade. And now item 3, Superintendent's report, and we've got Missy on the phone here on speaker. I'll turn it up.
Good evening, everyone. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, thank you, Missy.
Okay, great. Item 3A, capital requests. At the Board of Finance meeting this coming for their June, which is June 17th, we will be requesting the end of fiscal year capital requests. We do have 2 items, and those will be explained in section 4 under recommended actions. The 2 items are parking lot repairs and a knee wall for the library and the East Granby High School. So again, I will share more information down below when it comes to recommended action. Item 3B, personnel update. We have hired a middle school late afternoon, early evening custodian. It's the shorter shift of our custodians. His name is Anthony Francia. He began on May 14th, so we are happy to have him on board. Boys soccer, we have hired Mr. James Bunker, who is actually a paraprofessional in district for several years, and is another NCCC varsity soccer coach. So he is coming to stay with us in the afternoons and be our boys soccer coach next year. And we are underway with our Director of Student Support Services. That posting did go up on CT REAP, which is the primary website for posting education positions in Connecticut. We do have a fairly large number of applicants already. It does close the 30th. We will be getting interviews towards the end of next week and the following week.
Okay.
And that is my personnel update. Are there any questions?
Any questions from the board?
Nope.
Nope.
Welcome to all the new folks.
Welcome to what?
To the new folks.
Oh, welcome to the new
Forgot their
folks
names are
Wednesday.
right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep.
Item 3C, this is not under recommended actions. This was brought up at the facilities subcommittee meeting. We have a door that can no longer be repaired. Our director of facilities, Ray Carlson, has repaired it several times. It does need to be replaced. It is not part of our door grant. We will be using operating funds. There was an attached from Calvert door, just so you can see the invoice. Again, this was shared at the facility subcommittee meeting. So really this is just for information that we do have a door that is going to be replaced in the amount of $10,702.
It must be a safe door, I guess.
You know, Bob, I wish I knew a little bit more about learning about doors. It's one that it secures part of our building from the other part of the building. It's one of the back auditorium doors.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's been in disrepair. Okay. Okay. I will move on to section 4A, approved capital requests, if that's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, we have, in your packet, you did receive a copy of the capital request that was approved, way back in September. We did go for some capital items in December. This June, we have the task to close out any completed projects and return back funding to the town. So our business manager and I have gone through all those with Ray Carlson. We will have a list to close out and provide some funding back to the town. However, we are going to be asking for 2 items. The first item is the knee wall. Now, if you recall, this knee wall went up in December. We were not able to get 3 quotes, so therefore it was not approved. We have 1 quote in the amount of $12,636 from Newgate Builders. Ray Carlson did request 2 other builders for quotes, and we received a no quote. So at this point, all we have is that 1 quote from Newgate Builders. If you had a chance to look at it, it's a pretty involved quote. It will provide us exactly what we need in the library so that we can free up what is our computer lab and make it a larger classroom. The quote does not include electrical. So the request, even though the budgeted amount was $10,000, we are going to request an amount not to exceed $16,000, which will be inclusive of construction and electrical. And then, of course, any unused funds will be returned to the town.
Missy, did you say 16,000 or 15?
16.
Okay, because our minutes from the subcommittee said 15. Okay.
Yes, the reason I said 16, Bob, is the quote is coming in just under 13,000. So
Yeah.
this way,
Covers the electrical.
yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So I would welcome a motion to bring that forth to the Board of Finance for the knee wall in the high school in an amount not to exceed $16,000 from capital funds.
As well as the driveway cracks as well,
Sure.
repair as well?
Yep, so the driveway, it's all of our parking lot and driveways. We did receive 2 quotes, and Ray is working on a 3rd. 1 quote from AFS, this came later, is for $87.65. There was another quote from East Coast for $20,700. We feel to ask an amount not to exceed $10,000. Our budget number was 20, so we're almost cutting that number in half in what we're actually requesting from the town.
Is there a reason why they're so much lower? I'm just looking at
Is there a reason why they're so much lower? I was wondering the same thing. Maybe they forgot to look at part of the schools. But
massive difference.
AFS is a local company, and I look at Newgate Builders are local. They've both done work for us and are reputable. But yeah, do you have any idea why the square footage, Missy, there's such a differential in those 2 quotes?
I do not. Ray feels the second quote was more general. When we
Okay.
put these budget numbers in our plan, remember, we don't get the quotes originally. We go on past times for a budget amount. Then when we come to requesting the actual dollars, we go and get the actual quotes.
Okay.
Because the Seymour and Allgrove are very similar.
There's a huge difference.
Yeah, there's like
29,000 linear feet for the high school and middle school versus almost 3,500 linear feet.
right, a $12,000 difference, but the other Seymour and Allgrove are very similar.
Also similar in feet. So East Coast Pavement Services has a better linear foot rate, but they have a massive discrepancy compared to AFS and the linear feet for the high school and middle school. One's on the per unit, and then the things that don't make sense, Seymour and Allgrove on the East Coast are the identical description, identical linear feet estimated at 4,000, but then different costs.
Not much different, but yeah, there's
But
a
not
difference.
much
They're very
difference.
close, yeah.
Just a
But
few
if you're
hundred.
putting it in a template and you
Yeah.
have a cost per linear foot, it should be identical.
All right.
So it's very odd.
Yeah, but at least those are within a few hundred. A middle high school is over a $12,000 difference.
That's because they had 29,000 linear feet for the high school and middle school versus
Right.
3,500.
So does AFS know that there's that's more? What?
Are they seeing more cracks than I?
Or did they not do a portion of the school?
Well, if you look
Did they?
proportionately, if you look at the amount of paved area for the high school, middle school, proportionately, it seems like the 29,000 is not crazy when you look at how much paved area is at Allgrove versus
Right.
high school, middle school. It doesn't look like it's outrageous. So I'm curious if AFS just didn't see as much repair needed.
Or they didn't cover the driveway.
I think they're
To 3,500 square linear feet.
I mean, when you have ones that are completely,
Parking lot.
I think we'd have to ask for more detail.
Who requested these quotes? Was it Ray?
Ray Carlson, yeah.
And I suppose we didn't get any.
Yeah, it's too much of a
500.
discrepancy. And then the one thing I didn't, on East Coast, one thing I didn't like, terms and conditions, all prep to be done by others. So this is for cracks up to 1.5 inches. So if it's filled with sand and stone, does that mean we have to hire somebody to go clean out the crack before they fill it?
So it seems to me we need to have Ray explain the quotes to us and what needs to be done. So we can, better understand what we're looking at here. I don't think we
Would you
have
like me
any.
to see if I can get more information? We do have an early June meeting. If we need more information for the crack repairs.
Yeah, we have a meeting on June 9th,
It
right?
sounds like that would have some value.
Yeah, it does. I mean, even if we could get Ray to come and explain it, that would be great as well. I don't know if he's got the availability to do that, but
Sure, I can ask for more information on that.
right. And so I think the main points are exactly what Ricky already brought out. There's a difference in square footage between the two quotes, with the AFS square footage being much less than the one for East Coast paving services. And one has to wonder what all prep work is done by somebody else means in this East Coast proposal. So we probably need all that information.
Okay, so square footage,
Is there anything
prep
else?
work done by someone else, and just the gap in the two estimates.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know where East Coast Pavement Services, where they're from? I never heard of them. I'm just wondering whether there's some national trying to do local work. Did they actually come out and measure, or did they do it by satellite pictures? I see they have photographs in their proposal. I wonder if they did their measurements that way somehow.
I'm guessing, but it is a guess, that they did it via satellite.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't have as much confidence in East Coast if they did it by satellite and came up with those numbers, but I think it's worth getting more from Ray Carlson.
On the other side, I'd expect more than that, but less
Yeah,
than
at the
that.
middle high school, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we need some more information on
It is an
that.
860, it's an 860 number, so,
They're out of Old Saybrook.
Oh, they're out of Old Saybrook, John says,
Googled
okay.
it.
okay.
They're out of Old Saybrook.
Do they have a website? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we just,
So I will request some additional information for our first June meeting then on the repairs to the driveways and sidewalks.
We had a placeholder of 20,000, is that right? And so, do we recall, anybody recall where we had that number from?
Must be,
Or was that just pulling on
I
the,
think it's previous years with inflation or something,
just sort of looking at? Yeah.
because it gets done every so.
Missy, did you hear the question?
We've alternated years, like every 3 or so years, we've typically put in about $20,000 to do this type of repair. So that number is kind of carried over. And like I said, and then when it comes to the year, we actually go out and get the quotes for a more definitive cost.
Okay,
So no, nobody came out when we put that number in, when we were projecting the plan like a couple years ago.
Have we checked with the town to see if they had any lots that are gonna be filled in the same time frame over the summer? See if we can get a better economy of scale deal here?
I did not.
well, Ray probably would have known that.
Bring materials out, might as well only do it once for the town.
Yeah.
Offices there. They've got a thing.
Okay, well, we'll get more information on that one. It looks like we certainly need a little bit more. How does the board feel about a motion for the knee wall for Newgate Builders? We only have one, but again, we did try to get others and didn't get two other quotes.
What was the amount again?
$12,636,
We were asking.
which does not include electrical. So we were asking for 16,000 so we could cover the electrical.
Drew, do you want to do the motion?
Yeah, I'll motion.
Okay, Drew with the motion to ask for 16,000 to do that, and
I'll second.
remains will go back into the capital account.
Bob, I'm recusing myself.
John?
I'm recusing myself.
Okay,
Personal and professional relationship with Newgate.
okay. Anyone? Well, Lynn was the second, right? Lynn was the
Yes.
second. Any other discussion or comments? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carried with one abstention. Okay, let's see. Okay, Missy, thank you on that.
Thank you.
We've done that.
He said that.
I'm sorry, I didn't vote. I didn't abstain.
Oh, I thought
I
you
recused myself.
Oh, you recused yourself.
So for
instead
the
of voting.
minutes,
Okay.
Lisa, it'll be a
Yeah, you
recusal.
recused
Yep.
himself, not abstaining. I'm sorry.
Yep.
My mistake. Okay, item 5, agenda items for future meetings. Seeing none. Item 6, we have some visitors now. Any comments from visitors?
Hello.
Short meeting, thank you for coming.
Sure, and I'm
Comment?
sorry I'm late, and might have been covered earlier, but I was wondering if there was an update on the hiring of a director of student services.
Actually, during comments, we take comments, we usually don't do Q&A, but that's an easy one, we don't have to research it. That process is being gone through right now, and interviews will be taking place right after the end of May.
Sorry, the end of this month?
The end of, yes, they have till, I think, June 1st to apply. So applications have been coming in, and then they'll be looked at by the superintendent after that time.
Is there a committee that's being formed to look at who it would be, or is it just the superintendent that will do the
The
hiring?
superintendent hires those positions, and we have a committee of board members now to hire superintendent. That's our position, that's what we have to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Motion for adjournment from Mark, do I have a second? Second from Amanda. Questions, comments? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Very good. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. And now we're going to have a non-meeting. Thank you.